Good morning, everyone. It is July the 6th, 2016, and I awakened this morning to more rain. Plus, we'll have another day where temperatures push 100. I think officially yesterday we were 100. Saw 103 on the thermometer coming home from the gym at about 7:30 last night. So, high temps, humidity to match. Definitely the middle of summer here on the southern central plains. Moisture's not a problem though. We've got it in spades right now, well ahead of our normals for this time of year. We open this morning with the economic news out of Europe. Not very good. German factory orders, a negative number. They fell 1%. The European retail PMI minus 2.1%. So the economy in Europe still shows slowing. We have Italian banks. Articles being written today about how the Italian banks can bring down the entire banking system of Europe. That's not true. The European Central Bank will fund as needed. China took the yuan lower. Gold is rocketed overnight. Crude is lower. The yen is up overnight. So dollar gained a little bit against the euro dollar, lost against the yen. The political instability, the political uncertainties associated with Brexit, and there have been at least 4 countries in the European Union where the right wing, quote unquote, the right wing conservative parties have gained ground because of Brexit. So chaos, the potential for chaos. The increase in uncertainty has led to the flight to quality, and we've seen that ever since the Brexit vote. Treasuries have been up, gold has been up, and they're pointed higher this morning. So today's news: international trade minus 40B. No one will pay any attention to that. PMI services 51.3, probably a little more accurate as to what's going in our service economy. The ISM services, which the market will focus on, 53.3. FOMC minutes, and they will take a look at that, the minutes, just to see what the tone, what the feeling was, how the discussion went, who was for what. Thank you, Drewski. See if that's a little better. Appreciate it. So we are pointed higher this morning. I like the long side of the market. Last rotate down, stopped at 3, then it stopped at 1, then it stopped at 34 even. So support really is going to be 134.03 to 133.27.5. That's the zone we'd like to buy. So we'll get started with the idea that maybe we can buy a little bit on the cheap. We'll put 29 to 01 for buy 1. Put a question mark at 3. And then 21 to 25 for buy 2. Okay, I'm not interested in the short side of the market as long as equities are selling, but resistance is at 8 to 12, so we can sell failure to take out 8 to 12 too. But that should come on some sort of a retest this morning. And then 15 to 19 for S2. We do live in interesting times. It's amazing how the corruption. I mean, nobody can miss the corruption that's going on right now, and the political favors and patronage and everything that go on in Washington D.C. I mean, it's just out there in front of everybody. The problem is that at least 40% of our country don't care, and then 20% of it shared yesterday's decisions, and it's just, we do live in interesting times right now. And if you've ever had the IRS, if you've ever been audited and the rest of it, when the government gets after you, they don't screw around, and they come after you with both feet, and they've got the deepest pockets in the world. And that's why all these major corporations pay these large fines without admission of guilt to any crime or anything. Makes the government happy. They get extra money. They can show that they've done their jobs politically. They've nailed the corporations for X, Y, or Z, and life goes on. But if you are connected, and if you can pay to play, you can do quite well in our economy these days. And while it's not good for the long-term health of the country, it sure does make those that are already in the dough happy, and they'll pay big bucks to make sure it stays that way. So that's what we're up against these days. No doubt about it. Corruption is rampant. If you got enough money and if you're well enough connected, you do not go to jail. And not good for the long-term health of the country. Okay, the bond. We are at resistance right now. So this 177.02 to 06 area, number 1, 11 to 15, cell 1, 23 to 27, cell 2. We're in new territory up here. And we're up here because of the flight to quality. The first little band of support down here is 24 to 28. So 17 to 21 is buy 1. And then 5 to 9 will be buy 2. Okay, gold broke out to new highs on this move. We don't like the short side of gold, and I mean, if you look at what's going on in the Middle East, if you look what's coming in Japan, what's Japan going to do next? If you look at Brexit, if you look at the calls from other countries, France notably, Holland, Italy. We haven't heard anything from Spain yet, but it's there. For independence. The political uncertainty right now is pretty darn high. So 75, 77 is resistance, sell 1. Not really interested in that side of the market. Bust through that. 85 plus or minus, sell 2. On the buy side, 71 to 69. And then 64 to 66 for buy 2. We get these big runs in the overnight session, and then we kind of consolidate in the day session for a bit, and then the market usually comes back in the afternoon. So we might get lucky and be able to buy it in the cheap this morning. If the E-mini rallies, I imagine gold and treasuries will sell. What would make the E-mini rally? Fed intervention. Okay, the euro didn't do much last night. It's actually pretty quiet, all things considered. Or it was when I looked this morning. With the move in gold and the rest of it and the yen, you would think that we'd get more action out of the euro, but we haven't. So our 1075 area is reasonable support. So maybe 60 to 70 buy 1, then 1025 buy 2. On the sell side, 111 even, 111.10 sell 1, 111.25 to 35 sell 2. And I do think the market is headed lower, and that it is a long-term sell, but so we never change our opinion on that. And again, there's no magic to that. It's just Draghi comes out and has said that he wants the euro lower. So they can export outside of the European Union. Europe has had a mercantilist economic policy forever. It's led to the colonization of most of the world, and all done to increase market share and have markets for their manufacturers. Okay, we said that we were headed for 46 last week when the selling started in crude. I now think 45 is the play. So crude doesn't go straight down, so 45.75, 46 even by 1, then 45 even, 45 and a quarter by 2. On the sell side, we're at 18 right now. Last T we stopped at 48, so 25 to 50 is sell 1. 75 to 47 even, sell 2. Like the short side of the market, I think we should sell into strength. Why? There's more supply than there is demand. They had a big downward revision in gasoline consumption usage in the United States in April and May. And it supposedly has led to this last round of selling, but the economy is not as strong as the reporting bureaus and departments and agencies say that it is. And the way that it manifests itself is they paint as rosy a figure, they puff the numbers for the announcements, and then they quietly revise them lower over time. Okay, we have the attractor right here at 63. Got a low volume number at 69, so if 69 changes from support to resistance, this market can sell. This market would not rally today based on economic news, but based on what the Fed wants, that's a different matter. So first resistance is the 75 area. Selling 74, 79 sell 1, 84, 89 sell 2, 65, 67 is support. If we don't break 65, we can get long, and then 56 to 61 for buy 2. We have a chance for the selling to accelerate this morning if the Fed stays out of the way. If the Fed is there early, and they probably will be, then an orderly selling is probably what we should expect. First hour of trading in the E-mini has been tough. Dealing with 6 to 8 point handles. Market kind of sits there. Then after 10:30, if the market's going to move, we get a move, and then late in the session we get a move too. But the Fed will allow the market to sell. They just won't allow the bottom to fall out of it. Okay, it's going to take a bit to get everything up and posted. I will get busy on that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.